Rick and Dana Porter. We've been members at the Village Church for 8 years now. We had probably been dating about 6 months or so when we realized that it was different than just a standard dating deal in college.
I intuitively knew, even though my mom and daddy raised us to love everybody, that being in a relationship with Rick at that point would be something that they would struggle with. I told him, you know, Daddy, I've met a man and I love him, and he is a black man. Mom and Daddy asked me to leave the house, and at that point I wasn't allowed to come back home. My parents were absolutely resolute that they were not going to accept our marriage, that he would not be welcome in their home.
You can just, you know, fall victim to this rage and this anger, and I think that was ultimately something that, you know, I had to come to terms with, because dealing with this for 3 years on the other side of us being married was also just something that I was constantly battling.
I was only focusing on my parents, and I was only focusing on how can they not see how wrong they are and how the Lord would not look at this in a sinful way. And I didn't see my own sin, that I cared so much about what others in the world was thinking about me. And He showed me that I was just as guilty as they were. I remember we had been 3 years into it, and I was so weary.
And I couldn't even pray anymore because I just felt so heartbroken, because I knew that there was nothing more I could do. And you just wrapped me in your arms and you just said, Lord, we can't do this anymore. We give this to you. And I just remember feeling at peace that I needed Him. I needed more of the Lord. I needed more of assurance of the Lord.
This just might not be the thing that works out. We just don't know, and we don't really ever have the luxury of fully understanding what God's plan is.
I picked up the phone and my parents said, we're ready to meet Rick. And I just remember thinking I wasn't hearing it.
In the middle of the night, just breaking down and crying again, and God so lovingly just saying in me, this is my battle, this isn't yours. And I just remember feeling like a peace. It was within a couple of weeks of that phone conversation that you guys actually met.
It was literally almost like I had met them before, you know, I was a long-lost son or something from the first time that we actually met. Reconciliation is a process. It's not a moment. There were certainly moments along the way that kind of stand out, from the time that we first met our parents and the time that they first saw their grandkids, and those are, you know, very special in their own right, but overall it was a long journey. It's a process.
He worked it all in His timing to show that I so struggled caring about what people thought about me until the situation. And then in that, He illuminated that I am fully accepted by Him, and that is what is the ultimate.